Welcome to Hope is Here. My name is Greg Horn, and guys, want to give you that friendly reminder that Mother's Day is going to be coming up this Sunday, so make sure you get those flowers ordered in advance, or that special gift, get that card in the mail, or make plans with your mom if you're able to. And yet, I know for others, Mother's Day can be kind of tough, as a lot of people's moms are no longer with them. And we've got a wonderful guest this week that's going to be with us, Traci Hutcherson. She is my cousin, so I'm a little biased. I think she's wonderful, but I think you will too. And we're just going to talk a lot of aspects of being a mom this week. One, her precious mom, Wanda Long, who went to be with the Lord back in September of 2009, was just one of the sweetest, most God-honoring Christian ladies that I've ever met, and want to share a little about her life and things that Traci learned from her. And then Traci is the mother of not one, not two, not three, but 4 boys, and just decided that she needed a little female companionship, so they just added a daughter recently. So she can talk a lot about being a mom too. And then she also has a wonderful career that she does. She's got an awesome blog called beneathmyheart.net, and so you should check that out. We'll be talking more about that. But Traci, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Greg.
Well, I know it's kind of a bittersweet thing today, as Mother's Day's coming up, and this will be, I guess, the 8th one that you celebrate without your mom. But man, I know there has to be a lot of wonderful memories with your precious mom.
So many wonderful memories, and I know the first couple Mother's Days without her were extremely hard. But as the time has passed, it's become just a wonderful day to just celebrate the mother I had, you know, not in a sad way, but in a very joyful way, and just grateful for all that she taught me, and to celebrate just being a mom. Like, you know, I think Mom used to always teach us to, you know, turn something sad into something good, and I always think Mom would not want me to be sad on Mother's Day. She'd be like, Traci, stop it right now. You focus on being a mom and be grateful that you're a mom today on Mother's Day. So I try to turn it around and with the things that Mom taught me, and just celebrate the wonderful mom that I had, and that the chance that I'm a mom, and just celebrating that too. So.
Well, you're right. That's what your mom would want.
That's
I can
what
hear
she'd
it.
want. You can
Definitely.
hear it, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I was looking at your blog yesterday, beneathmyheart.net, and you've got a picture on your mom, and it says My Inspiration. So
absolutely.
Just share a little bit about your mom.
So I am a professional blogger, which does not sound like a real job, and it's hard for me to say because I actually have my master's in elementary education, and I taught for about 5 years before I stayed home with our first son, Jonathan. And so blogging was a happy accident, but it also started from my mom. I know you had my sister on here a while back, and she said something similar, but my mom was always kind of above her times, and she actually was really involved on the internet even 10 years ago, and she loved finding inspiration on the internet. She fell in love with this thing called blogs 10 years ago and asked me if I had ever heard of a blog, and I hadn't. Honestly, I didn't know what it was. I had heard of family blogs, of like people sharing stories, like for their loved ones who are out of state, you know, a lot of college students or people who are living away, but I'd never heard of anybody doing anything else for a blog. And Mom said, oh, Traci, there's these decorating blogs, and they share how to make curtains and how to paint furniture, and it was all the kind of stuff I love. And so she gave me a list of blogs. She said, you got to check these out, Traci. I'm reading them all the time. They're right up your alley. You're going to love them. And I was like, Mom, at that time I had 4 kids. Eli was a baby. And I was like, I don't have time to be on the internet. I am chasing these kids. And so that was in the fall of 2008. And I kid you not, for months, she would say, every time I'd see her, did you read those blogs I sent you? And I'd say, oh, Mom, no. So one night, I think it was in January 2009, I was actually doing bills on my computer as the kids were sleeping. It was probably 11 o'clock at night, because that's when moms get things done, when their kids are sleeping. And I saw the list of blogs, and I thought, I'm going to look at these so she will leave me alone. So that I can say, yes, Mom, I read these blogs. Would you please leave me alone?
Check that off the list.
Check that off the list. So there I went, clicked in the URL, and it was like the heavens opened up and angels were singing. And about 4 hours later, it was 2 or 3 in the morning, I was still on the internet looking at these blogs. And I don't know it was like serendipitous, because it was just like, I have found my people. I have found my tribe. Like, this is me. This is what I do. And especially since I had wasn't teaching anymore, and I had been out of teaching by that time, probably 8 years or so, 6 to 8 years. I can't think that quickly in my head. I had a lot of time at home with my kids, and so I was trying to find creative outlets and things to do with my time, and blogging became that. So Mom, I was like, Mom, you're right. I had to give it to her. I was like, Mom, I looked at the blogs. I was on there for like 4 hours. I love it. Little did I know what a big part of that would come. That was the year we found out, got her diagnosis. And little did I know how big of a part blogs would play even in her illness, and the time that we spent with her. And so she talked me into starting my own blog. I had no idea what to do. I called it Beneath My Heart, kind of from the scripture of where, and I can't even think of it off the top of my head, where Jesus was in the temple, I think, and then Mary said she pondered those things in her heart, like as he walked away. And I'm like, that's kind of me. I feel like at that time with 4 young boys, I was just pondering all that stuff in my heart, like how to raise them, what to do with them, like all this kind of stuff, but also pondering all the joys of motherhood and just all those sweet moments. And so I thought, I'm just going to write about all those things in my heart that are beneath my heart, my faith, my family, my home. That was March of 2001 that I hit publish, 2009, sorry, that I hit publish, and that's where the journey began. And then in August of that year is when we found out Mom had cancer, and she passed away 7 weeks later. And but between March and August, I just had a blast with my blog. It was like my little secret. I didn't tell anybody about it except my mom and my husband and my sister, because I didn't want people to think I was crazy talking about pillows on the internet. Like, look at the new pillows I got. But at that time, I was living on a very tight budget. My husband, we were a one-income family. I did a lot of shopping at Goodwill and redoing furniture, and I would put that on the blog. I was getting a very good response early on. There wasn't a lot of home bloggers in my niche at that time. Now it's insane. And Mom loved watching it grow. And so when she got her diagnosis, I did share that on my blog. And there were a lot of people that wanted to know about how Mom was doing. And my mom, in a lot of ways, was a very private person and didn't want to take all the phone calls and all the, it can be overwhelming. I know, And so she would say, Traci, will you put that on your blog? And then that way everybody knows without having to. And I'd say, yeah, Mom. And it created a really sweet community. And I realized there were a lot of my readers that had gone through similar situations or were in similar situations with parents. And it just really helped my blog grow in a really special way and have a really special place in my heart. And I remember even when Mom was sick, I've told a lot of people that, when she was sitting on the couch and wasn't able to move because her legs were swollen, and there was very little she could do. She was bedridden most of the time. And so we would sit on our laptops and read blogs. And she'd say, oh, Traci, did you see so-and-so's blog? She got new chairs for her dining room. And I always tell people when it was hard to know what to talk about, it was a buffer to just talk about something, that just made us happy. And she saw how much fun I was having with the blog. And she'd say, Traci, promise me that you'll keep doing this. Promise me you'll keep doing this. And little did she know the gift that she gave me. It was a huge gift, because it now is become a huge provider financially for our family. It's become my sole career. It's led to opportunities that I couldn't have ever even dreamed of. So blogging
you get to travel.
I travel all over the place.
Some of the places you've got to travel, because I don't think people. You hear about stuff like that, but to know that there's somebody locally that actually does this, and is God's blessed. Tell a little bit about it. It's fascinating to me. It really
is. So blogging is something I have to explain to a lot of people, but it has opened. So my blog is a lifestyle blog, but I focus a lot on DIY home improvement, because that's what my husband and I do. That's kind of our love language, and what we love to do. So we have
DIY, do it yourself.
Do it yourself. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. DIY, do it yourself.
Help the old guy out here.
I know. So we do a lot of tutorials and videos and blog posts about how to kind of update your home. And so all of the houses we've lived in, because really financially it's all we've been able to afford, have been fixer-uppers. So we buy a house and we fix it up and we live in it a while and then we sell it. The current house that we're in, we've been in the longest. We've been in 7 years. But so we use our house as a way to say, hey, this is a great paint that you can use on outdoor when you're painting, yada, yada, yada. So the cool thing is I've been able to work with a lot of brands. So brands have realized that they really kind of get more bang for their buck by working with bloggers than really doing commercials and TV ads and things like that, because bloggers have worked really hard to develop a really devoted following. And so I have readers that have followed me through Jonathan's hearing loss, which we will be talking about soon, with my mom's death, with my dad remarrying.
So you have a relationship with
I have a relationship.
So a trust factor.
A huge trust factor. So when I say, you guys, I really like this paint, or this is really what I would do, they're like, oh, I'm going to buy that paint because that's what Traci said, because I've followed Traci. I feel like I know her, So
she's my unadopted sister,
she's
right?
My unadopted sister, right. So I've got to work with brands like Lowe's and Home Depot. Wayfair is currently a brand that I love working with. I've got to travel to Boston and do some content videos for Wayfair that they have on their website that they use in advertising. I've traveled a lot with Lowe's and done renovations to homes. They'll do different types of projects. I've helped with Home Depot. They have a huge heart for veterans, and so I've been able to go and travel different places and help renovate homes for veterans. And so just some really cool opportunities of working with brands and traveling different places, mostly in the home DIY niche is what I do mostly. So it's been super cool.
Well, I love how you tell that, because I was hearing a guy speak this weekend, and he talked about, don't put God in a box. And as you're telling me all these things that God has done through your mom bringing up this blogging idea, and you're like, what's a blog? And next thing you know, God's providing income and you're getting to travel. And to me, it just screams that, man, we limit God so many times. We put him in a box, and yet
Absolutely.
He can do all kinds of great things, can't he?
He can do all kinds of great things. Absolutely. And the best thing is unexpected things, I always expected to go back and be a teacher and still have a teacher's heart. And Mom would say, well, you still are teaching. It's just on an online atmosphere. And it's provided me opportunities to still teach in other speak places. And I help lead one of the largest DIY conferences every year called Haven. And this is our 7th year. Home Depot is our main sponsor. So I help do that. That's another platform. So it's just been really cool to watch God just opened doors in different places. Yeah, totally unexpected.
Yeah, so for somebody out there just wondering, what does God have for you? Maybe you just do something, you think, oh, that's just something I do. You never know. I mean, you just did something that was of interest of you, and next thing you know, you're able to make a nice living at it.
It's crazy. It really is.
All right. Well, we've only got about a minute left in this one. We've talked about, let's give the name of those boys.
Oh, okay. I have 4 boys, Jonathan, Luke, Adam, and Eli, and then we just currently adopted our daughter, Sania, from the country of Latvia. She's been home with us for about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's definitely got some good mom stories, and we're kind of honoring Mother's Day this week. As by the end of this week, Sunday, you've got an early warning. This is Monday, so some of you will be listening on podcast, but Mother's Day is right around the corner. So Traci Hutcherson is with us, and we're going to talk about her precious mom, Wanda, and some of the things she learned from her. She was a precious, precious Christian lady, and went to be with the Lord back in 2009, September 22nd, at the young age of 64, but leaves a great legacy. And so we're going to talk more about that tomorrow, and then we're going to talk about her children, things she's learned with her basketball team. She's got 5, so we're going to talk about that and much, much more. So I hope you'll stay with us and tune in tomorrow for Hope is Here. My name is Greg Horn. We'll see you tomorrow.
CMI is your full-service human resources provider in Central Kentucky. For 15 years, CMI Human Resources has taken great pride in helping organizations and people work. Whether it's employee handbooks or help in filling a position, no job is too large or too small for CMI. Contact the professionals today at CMI Human Resources, 859-296-2800, or online at cmiconsulting.com.